Oh my god. You actually said something smart.
Okay, welcome back to RatAttack, and for this episode, we will only be discussing my board theory from last time.
Really?
There will be no trial gameplay.
45 minutes of that?
Feel free to skip
I think
this
the
one,
board
guys.
is this long, it would be able to do it. No,
But no,
the picture shows this, and this. No. No, we need a diagram. I feel like if it was going to be that specific, they would have given us a diagram almost.
Well,
you know?
they probably might when they describe it. I mean, we didn't get a diagram for the potential zip line, but when they describe it.
True.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, if it was going to go into specifics about, like, okay, so all the trials can be solved before you even go into them. I feel like if it was going to be that specific, it would have given you like the board measurements, where the beams are placed.
It gave you the cage measurements.
The cage measurements, sure, but it doesn't tell you how long the board is underneath it, and that makes a big difference.
Let's look at the board real quick. Let's make sure you're right.
Let's move on. How about that?
Let's look at the board
we're moving on.
Wow. You just remember this, guys, that he did that.
What if Angie's spirit killed Tenko?
Look at the board.
No, we're not talking about that right now. I was just considering what he said.
That's not possible.
We don't know that. Some things are impossible for a human, but not for a spirit.
Don't say stupid stuff like that. Screw spirits.
Stop that now.
Is there any plausibility it could have been Angie's spirit?
No?
No?
No.
Why not? If Angie takes over Tenko's body, and Angie left the sickle right under the floorboard.
This is stupid. I'm not entertaining this.
And then she stabs
If you're not going to
herself.
entertain I just want to look at one piece of evidence and you won't even entertain it.
You're going to make the whole episode about it.
I just want to look at it and then I will shut up. I won't even say anything else relating it until it comes up again. I just want to look at it.
You just want to see? Okay, which one?
I just want to see. You won't even let me do that.
Which one?
The floorboard. Okay, I just wanted to see if there's a measurement on it, and that's it.
Just say that. What the heck?
I was trying to. You kept saying, no, I'm not talking about this anymore. We're continuing.
Because you wanted to, like, go into it.
I just wanted the evidence. That's all I wanted.
You weren't going to shut up right after that. Don't you even lie to me.
I absolutely was.
Your jury is failing right now.
I'm not lying to you.
The wrong
I have no reason to lie to you about... Why would I lie to you about this? Why would I lie to you about this?
This does not matter. But you're saying no to Angie's spirit?
Yeah, of course. It's so stupid. Oh, her ghost infected her.
Hey, if Monokuma can bring people back to life, if
we don't even know if he does it though. They could be the most backwards. They're a robot.
Ethan, the
They're
last
in the
game
computer.
takes place in a simulation. You don't know.
I believe the realness of it. I believe that any scientist, if they said, well, the science actually lets us turn farts into oxygen.
How do you prove we're not in a simulation right now and they could just simulate ghosts?
I guess that's possible,
I'm just
but
saying, I don't know.
Angie's spirit killed Tenko? Why?
Himiko?
Why would Angie's spirit kill Tenko?
Vengeance for Tenko killing Angie.
Yeah, that definitely is a possibility here. But I don't think that's right.
Yeah, actually, I do think that's a possibility now that they explain more.
Tenko killing Angie, not...
What if Tenko killed Angie, and then Angie's spirit came back for revenge?
Like I said, that's impossible. Spirits can't be culprits.
I don't know, I kind of like that theory.
Then explain how the culprit killed Tenko under these impossible circumstances.
It is tricky.
Well,
See? You can't explain, can you? Only a spirit could have done that.
Wait, I know. What if the culprit was hiding inside the cage?
Tenko herself.
If they were in there, they could have stabbed Tenko during the seance.
No. If there was someone else in the cage, we would have noticed.
I agree with Kaito. The culprit could have been inside the cage.
Explain.
You do?
Nonsense. There was no space in the cage for the culprit to hide.
Maybe the culprit wouldn't need to hide in the first place.
Are you saying it's Tenko? Is that what we're trying to get around to?
What?
Also, the culprit could have killed her in the cage at any time. I think you know what I'm getting at.
Oh!
Tenko's...
Somehow someone's in the cage. I don't understand that part. But that could explain our crash.
What do you mean?
They were jumping down.
Maybe.
Because if you okay,
like I said, it's still like a big like wood crash sound though, you know?
I don't know, wood flipping and all that stuff from the loose floorboard. I don't know. The they she's referring to.
Tenko.
I assume Tenko, yeah.
For sure. No doubts. If I'm wrong, I will say the N-word.
We were real close to the end of RatAttack, guys.
Oh my god, my life flashed
Maki is
before my
referring to
eyes!
Tenko herself.
What did you say? Are you saying Tenko is the culprit?
She committed suicide.
Suicide?
If she committed suicide, it would explain a lot of things we couldn't figure out.
So if she hid the sickle on herself, let's pursue this for a second.
Okay.
And if she...
So, first
maybe the board's only to, like, let the, you know...
sickle fall?
Sickle, so she could throw it underneath. She, like, stabs herself, and then she's bleeding out in her final moments, and she's like, peace out, sickle.
Okay, but Maki said herself, when you're stabbed like that, you, like, go into pure shock. Like, I remember Maki saying something like, yeah, it makes sense she wouldn't have cried out because your
she would've
body
been
just,
able to
like,
move. Yeah,
freaks
maybe. Or
out.
maybe that's...
I don't know if I follow the suicide angle. I still don't understand. Okay, so you can't have a bright light underneath the floorboards. Can you just have a really dim one? Like that? You have the blood that's underneath there as a signal of where to stab. Because remember, that blood from, we assume, Angie was there earlier. Like dried up blood, it was down there.
We assume from Angie, yeah.
It could have been, maybe Smugi was right about this fake paint or bright paint idea, you know? Glow in the dark paint. Like, it could have functioned like that.
Okay.
So...
She volunteered to be in the cage and then stabbed herself during the seance. It wouldn't matter how dark the room was.
My only thing that's saying yes to the suicide theory is she said a lot of, like, final words before she went in that cage, you know?
They can be interpreted
The
like
sickle
that.
she was stabbed with was under the floor, right?
I don't know. I don't know if I like this angle too much. I don't know
If
why.
Tenko had stabbed herself, wouldn't the sickle still be inside the cage?
Floorboard.
Oh my god. You actually said something smart.
Oh my god.
Perhaps that explains why the floorboard was removed. After stabbing herself with the sickle, she threw it underneath the floor.
So she took off the floorboard to get rid of the sickle?
Yes, that makes sense to Gonta.
I really hope this is the way it goes, just so it's, like, the floorboard theory just goes out the window.
I guess.
Well, it doesn't make sense to me. There's no reason for Tenko to commit suicide.
It does if she killed Angie.
Yeah,
Maybe I
but...
wasn't too far off with the theory I had earlier. You know, about Tenko killing Angie.
Nah, but now that he's saying it, I'm like, no, it's too early for that to be revealed.
Yep.
Yeah?
Because Tenko and Angie were fighting for your attention, right?
Hey, Angie, what did you brainwash Himiko?
Tenko's pent-up frustration led her to commit such an atrocity.
But she wouldn't get to do anything with Himiko. That doesn't make any sense. In no way a crime of passion has that much detail that makes it hard to, like, follow up on.
I don't know if Tenko would do anything to make Himiko sad either.
Yeah.
Which killing Angie would make Himiko sad, so it's like...
Well, the whole... Okay. Let's entertain this. Tenko's, oh my god, I'm so mad. I'm gonna kill Angie. And then I'm gonna set up this elaborate way to make it look like impossible to do with locking the door and spinning the dummy. And then, after going through all this effort to try and get away with it, I'm just gonna kill myself anyways. What's the point? Why would you even do it then?
Well, if she killed Angie, a trial's gonna happen anyway.
Exactly.
So, I mean, she would have had to be revealed as the killer no matter what and killed inevitably.
Or try and get away with it and kill Himiko, which, again...
She wouldn't do, you know.
So I don't see this at all.
Her conscience couldn't handle it anymore, so she decided to end her own life.
What?
But if she was gonna kill herself, why do it during the seance?
She wanted to hide the truth of her suicide.
Really? Why?
There could only be one reason to hide it in a killing game, right? It's to take us down with her.
Take us down?
She wanted us to pick the wrong answer during the class
Okay,
trial.
see, this I could kind of believe, maybe.
so she could
Why would
bring
she
us
do that?
all down. She wanted us to die with her.
I know this isn't right,
Okay,
but
well, she probably just wanted Himiko to die with her, but still.
But what are you saying? Tenko wasn't like that. She told me.
Keep your chin up and live life facing forward. Survive with me and everyone else.
What if all of that was just a lie?
A lie?
Wait, we should believe Tenko's last words.
in this situation, you wouldn't.
Class trials is that you shouldn't.
I don't know,
believe
what
everything
reason does
said.
she really have to do that? She was dumb, but she was never one for like spiritualness or afterlives or...
Yeah.
She was like, a keto or nothing, you know? If anyone was gonna plan a mass suicide, it'd be Angie.
Himiko, you
True.
said that Tenko would never do anything like that. But how can you be so sure? Did you guys actually know each other?
I don't think this is right either, though, honestly.
People keep all sorts of secrets. Like Maki. She hid the fact that she's a cold-blooded killer.
There's so many angles to look at
Is
this.
it wise of us to trust other people wholeheartedly in this kind of situation?
Jeez, you're such a naive dude.
Naive?
We're all just people, you know? Of course we're gonna have some secrets. What matters is whether there's any malice behind them.
People can lie about how malicious their hidden secrets really are.
Well, duh. It's impossible to know for sure what others are thinking. That's why it all comes down to whether or not you believe in yourself.
Okay. You should just be the ultimate motivational speaker instead.
Yeah.
You get betrayed. It's not their fault. It's your fault for believing in them. That's why I believed in Maki role, because I wanted to believe in her.
Just because you're acting all cool doesn't mean you get to skip training.
Hey, come on. Don't you think you're being a little too strict?
Well, we
No.
come from different backgrounds. So for now, let's agree to disagree. No one's ever called me naive before. And from Kaito? Seriously?
Whether or not I believe, my heart can't reach Tenko anymore. But I want to believe in her. She wouldn't commit suicide. She wouldn't try to take us down.
Yeah, I don't think she would.
That's what I want to believe.
Me too. Gonta no can believe Tenko commits suicide.
Okay, well, the suicide angle I could see, but what other explanation is there besides
Tenko did commit suicide.
the board theory?
That would answer all of our questions.
There is none.
If you insist we believe in Tenko, then provide a reason to do so.
A reason to believe in her.
A proper reason.
All right, I'll give you a reason.
Is there a reason?
Yes, there is. Will you trust me, Maki? If it turns out I'm wrong, you can blame me all you like. But for now, I need you to trust in my detective work.
I don't believe Tenko would kill herself because of what she said.
Okay, so she didn't kill herself. Okay, everyone, I'll see you guys after the seance. That was it.
She said, see you guys after. I doubt she had a sudden change of heart. Just because we don't know how she was killed doesn't mean that it was suicide. Also, her killing herself doesn't really explain the floorboards all loose in the other room, too.
Well, my only other problem with her killing herself is the way she did it is putting the trial in a spot that's very hard to solve. So she would
Yeah.
be killing us too, you know? The way she, if it was a suicide, the way she did it would have been very harmful to Himiko, essentially.
Which I think was her biggest priority.
Right.
And that means we have to believe in Tenko. I'll make them all believe. Okay, Angie, jeez. Hangman's
Join my
Gambit.
cult instead.
Oh, never mind.
You dummy.
No.
Silly little goober. Monokuma file 3, the cage child, Tenko's last moments,
So
hole in the
far,
corner.
suicide seems to
Is
be
this the
best
lie one?
explanation.
Tenko's last moments. Crouched position, the injury on the back of her neck was deep, but probably not enough to kill her immediately.
Is this the live music?
I think it is. Alright, let's listen to it.
Her plan was to take us down with her,
Take us down with her.
so she hid her true intentions.
Tenko's not that kind of person.
But if Tenko did commit suicide, it would explain how she died during the seance.
She could have secretly brought the sickle and then stabbed
stabbed herself with it.
Okay.
Finally, with the last of her strength,
Last of her
she
strength.
threw the sickle underneath the floor.
Is Maki's account an
All the
option anywhere there?
pieces fit.
No.
Everyone thinks that Tenko committed suicide, but only because they're latching onto the easiest answer. To get out of this, I need to make them think their suicide theory wouldn't work. Oh!
So
Maybe
far,
this is you're
suicide
supposed to
seems be the
lie.
best explanation.
Maybe. Well, let's
Her
look.
plan was to take us down with her.
Could we just use Tenko's last moments to lie with one of these? Like with what whoever what says at the beginning.
Let's
Finally,
look.
with the last of her strength,
Last of her strength. Maybe we could.
Lie about Tenko's last moments.
Probably not enough to kill her immediately. Let's
We could lie. Yeah.
underneath the floor,
Ah, it's too late.
Yep.
all the pieces.
What was that one for?
Accident. Let's try that. Let's try lying
Okay,
on
I think
that.
that's a good theory.
But let's listen to the other ones too.
Finally, with the last
There. Yeah, it's gonna get in the way.
Oh man.
Or you'll miss.
Gosh dang it.
she threw the sickle underneath.
I hate
Oh
that.
my god.
It got in the way at like the exact like wrong time.
Well, you missed anyways.
Well, that's because I was trying to avoid the red thing. Okay.
Finally, with the last of
Right, get out of my way, you
There.
piece of crap. Yeah.
Okay.
Lie time.
Perjury.
Tenko couldn't have thrown the sickle under the floor
What lie are you gonna come up with now?
Yeah.
because she died instantly.
instantly.
Her death might not have been instant, but she couldn't have gone far before she bled out.
Okay, so we're gonna try and get Maki to lie with us.
I'm certain of it. My investigation determined that she died instantly.
Roll with me, Maki.
Please.
What's your
Maki,
opinion,
roll.
Maki? I'd like to hear it from someone who specializes in murder.
Maki.
So
Please.
obvious.
I completely forgot about that important detail. Tenko died instantly.
What?
As an assassin, I specialize in killing my targets swiftly. I have no doubt that Tenko was killed immediately.
By the end of this game, we're gonna have like gotten everyone to participate in a lie with us.
Yeah.
And then no one is gonna believe a word we say after that.
Words of a true killer. Pretty sure we can believe everything she said.
I think every time we
As
lie,
long as we lead them to the right answer, you know?
yeah, I think they always know it's like, oh, this is for the better. I just might not understand it yet.
Yeah.
So, thank you, Maki.
How could you
Maki.
forget that, Maki roll? You better apologize to Shuichi.
Excuse me?
It's okay, Kaito, really. No apology necessary. Anyway, Tenko died so suddenly that she couldn't have gotten rid of the sickle.
Okay.
Knowing that, the theory that she killed herself just doesn't fit, correct?
Just like I thought. Tenko wouldn't commit suicide.
Thank goodness, Himiko.
Then
Which means someone definitely killed Tenko during the seance.
the other clues that we haven't used relating to this whole board situation is this dog statue. The biggest thing is that it weighs a lot.
Yeah,
White
there's
sheet
gotta
we already
be
used.
something that comes up with.
The magic circle Korikyo drew.
You know what? Very interesting. Our only picture of this is when it's already all disfigured and stuff.
Yeah.
Makes me wonder if there might be like, if you had the before and after, obviously they'd be like messier, but maybe there'd be like a key detail missing.
Right. Maybe.
So-
We haven't used this yet, the cross piece under the floor. This
Right.
means something. Okay, let's read this. One of the cross pieces that support the loose floorboard in the room of the seance was held in. Only the portion that supports the floorboard was cut off. It wasn't broken naturally. It looks like someone had purposefully cut it.
Right, so they could reach their arm under there and then stab Tenko.
Her suicide was considered because we could not determine how she was killed.
No, there must have been a way. We're gonna figure it out.
Did any of the participants witness anything peculiar during the seance?
The
If
crash!
you know something, please speak
Yeah, why didn't
up.
we bring that up
It
sooner?
could be the key
Yeah.
to solving this mystery.
Not a bad idea. We should remember what happened to the seance.
Oh, my brain is fried.
Let me try to remember. I'm sure there's something. I need some kind of clue that will help me solve this mystery. I've had a lot of these ones.
Oh my god. The sounding seance.
Yep.
Did anything seem out of the ordinary during the seance?
This.
There is something that bothers me.
Yo, I wonder what it
The
is.
fact that the seance failed.
Okay, whatever.
The ritual was perfect, and yet it failed. How utterly strange.
Now that I think about it, while we were all singing the song, I heard something fall.
There you
Yeah. Wait. Yeah, there we go.
go. Easy. Consent.
I agree. Good job, little mage man.
Little delusional
Tenko,
thing.
you think something fell because of that sound you heard, right?
We all heard. How do you not hear that? That was loud.
Yeah.
Sound like a building getting blown up. Listen to it again.
Yeah, it sounds like one thing falling and then multiple smaller things falling with it. Like exactly how you'd expect a roof to sound when it caves in.
It makes me think of like if you tipped a shelf over, you know?
Yeah.
The board making that sound and still being intact is just weird to me.
It sounded like something heavy fell down and hit the floor really
Unless-
hard. What could have fallen down?
Yeah, I've wanted an answer to this for a
There
while.
wasn't anything on the ceiling that could have fallen down, right?
Something
No.
really heavy. Could the caged dog have fallen down? Or the dog?
And then they pick it up? But it's so heavy. How would they do that?
How do they
The only person that could was Gonta.
how would they lift it from the ceiling? We didn't look at anything on the ceiling.
Well, if that fell over, that would work. That would be heavy enough. It'd sound like something crashing. Like it
But what
tracks.
does it falling do? Because the cage wasn't bent or anything.
Maybe if they did mess with that floorboard and tried to tilt it, maybe they did lift the cage a little bit, but that would require lifting the cage and then the dog tipping over and falling, picking the dog up, putting it back, all while singing and doing God knows what else.
Yeah, let's just I don't know.
Yeah.
Am I wrong? I thought something fell, but
What if something just broke?
The sound was pretty loud. It did seem like something hit the floorboards.
A loud sound like something hit the floorboards.
Okay, so this is the only thing that's coming to my brain.
Okay. We're gonna spend the entire
I'm sorry, I
trial
don't-
in these.
We like to theorize and figure it out. It's just such a complicated one with so many possible ways. So here's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
If, like we were talking about, you use this floorboard as like a lever of sorts
Right.
to lift the cage and the dog. And then once it drops back down, once you let go, it'll fall and make a big noise, right? The only problem is, how do you make like, that's 175 pounds plus this has to be at least like, I don't know, like 80 probably.
Oh yeah, probably
then-
more if it's a big metal thing. Though I guess only two
possibly
of us.
Tenko's weight as well, and she's probably like at least 500 pounds.
Yeah, I could see like like I said, I could see how you'd reach through that opening and then the other opening on Tenko's side to kill her, but that doesn't explain the crash. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
So it's weird.
I don't know.
God, I'm gonna feel so dumb once it's revealed to be like the most simple thing.
Probably. Maybe that sound had something to do with the other thing that happened in the dark.
What other thing?
The murder?
What's the question? What caused the sound that was heard during the seance? If it's something heavy falling, maybe we should just do dog statue.
Or a loose floorboard. Those are my two guesses.
We'll start with this because it says something heavy. This is heavy.
Maybe
No.
the statue on top of the cage made that sound.
Yeah, let's try the floorboard.
It would be pretty loud if it dropped, but it was still on the cage after the seance. It's not like you to forget something like that, Shuichi.
Shut up.
Oh no!
Everyone stared at me.
Oh no!
I'm so embarrassed.
Okay,
yeah,
we'll try the floorboard.
Brink. There you go.
Loose.
I
Floorboard.
got it.
It's either the... What's... There's also this cross piece. We'll try the loose floorboard.
This is it!
Okay.
Yeah! Ethan wins again.
Yeah, go
The
Ethan.
floorboard coming off had something to do with that sound.
Could it? Hold on. Could it have just
The
fallen?
floorboard came loose at some point.
And then they
during
like
the
picked it back
seance,
up.
What? Could what have fallen?
The floorboard. Like if they're trying to, if it's everyone in the room, no one below, or even if it is someone below,
Why would the floorboard have fallen?
well, it's got nothing to support itself with. Once it's like
But
pushed
would it make
down,
it sound like that though?
if it's smacked against the ground, I could. So, one, it's Danganronpa, and two, I could what if it could have been Tenko's body that fell too? That could have happened because then I could believe that. Because what if the rock fell too? That would be multiple things that all kind of collapse.
I give up, guys.
Yeah. Okay, we're done with the series.
Also, you can kind of see a better picture of the board right here. It's still...
So is that where the cross piece is missing? Near her feet or near her head? It's near her feet, right?
I want to say it's the one near her feet. Because, yeah, that's the blood dripping down on that side.
Right.
And the cross piece was missing from the opposite side.
If you put enough force on that end, you think the board could just fall down?
Oh my god, this is so many theories we're making.
And this isn't even relevant. There's still all of Angie's crap.
Yeah, what are we dragging on about this one?
Yeah.
Let's continue. Screw this stupid floorboard puzzle.
I bet I'm right, though. In some degree.
Made such a loud sound, though.
It was
So
the
I'm
sound
saying.
of an intense impact.
So what else fell? Maybe it caused the other stuff to, like, you know...
If the impact was that intense, then it could have loosened the floorboard.
Oh. Maybe it was just someone, like, jumping or something. And, like, rattling everything. So they, like, jump to loosen the floorboard? Or slam on something, or I don't know. But that would kind of track. Anyways.
I think it'd have to be more than a jump, you know?
Yeah. That is true. There would have to have been a strong impact to make that sound.
I'm getting to the point where I'm just like, Ethan, let's just continue. We're not even, like, at the halfway point of this trial.
We'll be fine.
And so, like, a lot of this evidence isn't really gonna matter for convicting the actual killer.
I'm having
in the end.
fun. That's all that matters.
That is all that matters.
But what was it? What could it possibly be? I've got it.
Let's go with that. We all gotta put our heads together now.
Okay.
There's a lot of these.
Oh my god, do a different mini game. Sounding seance, magic circle, cross piece under the floor.
Come loose.
Cross piece.
Judging from the sound, there must have been considerable force.
Someone who participated in the seance. Maybe that person tore off the floorboard.
Okay, not a bad.
Wouldn't make such a loud crashing sound.
Wasn't any tear though.
Maybe the wooden statue fell over.
I could agree with
Was
that.
the cube
almost.
down there?
On top of the cage.
No.
Okay.
Culprit hide under floor. Then stood up with such might.
But we already said there was no one under the floor.
Someone must have stomped through the floorboard.
A
That would-
floorboard that comes loose when you step on it is dangerous. God, it's like I'm the only one here who's staying on the ball.
You hardly have any experience with balls to say that, Mew.
Don't be stupid.
Don't be stupid.
Don't you know me and Balls are the best of friends?
Let's agree,
Gotta
with,
agree
that.
with that one.
Is this the lying music again?
I don't think so, because it started off without any talking, and I thought the lion music one started with talking.
I don't think this is it, because the other one goes ba-da-da-da, ba-da-ba-bow, ba-da-da-da, ba-da-ba-dow.
But think about everyone's testimony and combine it with the
floorboard come
facts.
loose.
Maybe the wood statue fell over.
I thought Kokichi said a halfway decent one.
I thought that too.
Underfloor.
Though I like this
Then
theory.
stood up with such might.
Maybe.
That one?
But we already
Yeah,
said
that
there was
one's
no
not
one under the
bad.
floor.
But then again, how do they
Someone
get
must
under
have
the
stomped
floor
through the
again?
floorboard.
Try that one.
Guess no!
Just hit it. Don't worry about that. Just hit it. Oh, okay.
What is spinning? Oh. Oh, okay.
You always are so like, I have to aim for the V. I have to.
Well, it was spinning.
Right.
Yeah, I
The
know.
floorboard came loose because someone stomped on it.
The floorboards fit perfect. Going to make sure first time we go to empty room.
Yeah, first time, but not
When
second
we first
time.
saw the room, yes. But when I looked again during the investigation,
I'm gonna kill someone. What is this trial?
one of the cross pieces supporting the floorboards was cut off.
See, okay, so here's a good picture of it. You have the board is supported by the two beams over there, but not the one over there. So someone could either push on it from underneath, push up from underneath, or stomp on it from below.
You mean from up top?
Yes. Oh my god.
Okay, so that tracks. You stomp on it to displace it, and then stab Tenko through it. Done. Like, you could reach your arm under. You know, you lean forward enough, you could reach your arm under, go underneath that other cross piece, stab, get Tenko, put it back, chuck the sickle, you're done.
It'd
Like
be a
that.
very weird, precarious movement, and it'd be very hard to just hit the back of her neck without seeing her.
Well, also, you could just go down there. Like,
Wow.
that looks big enough to slip through. Especially if you're
You
someone...
have to have your weight on this board, remember. And the only other problem with that is, again, the cage and the dog combined make like 250 pounds.
No, but I mean, like... Could it... The way the floorboard was,
Okay,
like...
maybe the other end wasn't sticking out from under the cage, so maybe you wouldn't have to lift the weight of the cage and the dog.
All I'm saying is, you could displace the floorboard, make enough room to go down there, stab...
Oh, just displace it, not stomp on it now?
Well, stomping on it would displace it.
We're thinking it's way too different of things right now.
All I'm saying is, they stomp on it, the floorboard is loose, so they're able to slide it, move it. I don't care how they do it, but obviously it was moved pretty drastically from where it was, considering how Tenko was afterwards. You go down there, swishy, oh, I'm gonna stab, oh my god, climb back up, go back to your corner, whichever one did it, and you're done.
Seems so particular, you know? But they always are.
Examining the
Yeah.
cut, I concluded that it must have been done deliberately.
Someone? You mean the culprit, right? Why'd they do that?
Why didn't you say
What did
something
the culprit
sooner?
stand to gain by cutting the cross piece?
They can go down there. What do they stand to gain? That's the question. To solve this case, I'll need to think carefully about the crosspiece and the floorboard. Tenko's body was at one end of the loose floorboard.
So now they give us the diagram. So yeah,
So I thought her head was on the rock, and the crosspiece that had been cut was on the other end of the floorboard.
okay, so you can do like a seesaw type thing.
Oh yeah, easily.
But okay, so yeah, then you don't have to lift the weight of the board isn't long enough that you'd need to lift the weight of the cage and the dog.
Right.
That's the one question I had that made this whole thing like, I don't know if that makes sense or
And
not.
now, my previous theory makes a lot of sense, I think.
We'll see.
We'll see. The unsupported part was outside the cage, so it could have been stomped on.
Okay, so someone stomped on it.
Only one of the cross pieces was cut. The other two were intact.
Oh, I get it.
Am I right?
No.
I'm not interested.
Well, no, I don't think so. Because here's
Okay.
what they did: they stomped on that cross piece. Or they stomped on that spot, so it does the seesaw thing, right?
Uh-huh.
Tenko gets flung up. You lift up the blanket and stab her through the cage, and then you throw the
Okay.
sickle underneath the floorboard while your weight is still on it.
So, you're literally elevating her position so you can reach through the cage.
Yes,
I like that. That's a good theory. That's smart.
that makes.
Now listen.
That makes more sense to me than bending your arm at this precarious angle underneath the board, because that just you know.
Now, we're going to cut out what Gage said. I'm going to say that all right now, and we're going to make it look like I had that theory, okay? So, get cracking, editor.
But I really wish the truth bullet for this one, though, would have said whether the other side of the board was sticking out beyond the cage or not, though.
Yeah, but
Because
that,
if it is sticking out the other end of the cage, then if you stomped on that board,
So-
you would have had to lift all that weight, too. And
that brings us back to who in this room did it. It's Shuichi, Korikiyo, Himiko, and Kokichi. It's got to be one of those four.
so, yeah, if that theory is that way, is it really just Korikiyo? I mean, that would make sense, but it seemed like it seems like too simple of an answer.
But
And then Himiko, I don't know.
Korikiyo might be the obvious one, but doesn't matter.
Because his doesn't matter for this
If
one.
he didn't kill Angie, then it doesn't make a difference.
But why? Why kill Tenko?
I don't know.
And he was so shocked about why his seance didn't work, and we haven't even had to prove that yet.
What are we? What are we gonna prove about some stupid magical
Okay, true.
seance?
God, I hope that theory's right about lifting Tenko's body up and then
I
shanking
think
her.
I'll even concede and say that makes more sense than what I had thought up of.
Well, just because... Well, we'll just see. But yeah, that...
I like that.
I
a
didn't
lot.
hate your theory. It just seems so...
It was articulate, yeah.
Twister. Like, you'd have to play Twister underneath that board and find her neck, and I don't know.
True.
You'd have to have your body bent at such a weird angle.
One of them was right under Tenko, and the other was in the center, right about where the edge of the cage was. What was the culprit attempting to achieve by stomping on the floorboard?
Lifting Tenko.
Think. Come on, think.
Lifting Tenko.
Hangman's Gambit.
Yes!
You like this one?
Lift.
L-I-F-T, raise. R-A-I...
Yeah, you could use raise.
R-A-I-S-E.
Elevate.
E-L...
No.
Try S. S is a pretty common starter. S and T go together pretty often.
E. E works. Say.
Seance? Try A. Oh, okay.
C.
What is it trying to tell you?
C. C's. What?
C-
Seesaw.
Oh, okay. Seesaw. T-E-N-K-O. What is that last one?
Not
Seesaw.
F.
B-O-A-R-D? F. Try F. Ah, shoot.
I think I already tried F. I'm just stupid and forgot.
Did we try E?
Oh, I don't have many hearts.
Okay.
E. Seesaw.
Air one.
Effect. Seesaw effect.
What?
Why do you have to throw effect in there?
I hate that.
Seesaw
That's
makes
the
it obvious.
dumbest. I have loved this trial so far, but seesaw effect is ridiculous.
I don't think I've ever had to think this much for it. You know what? I've never had to think this much about one part of a trial, but the stupid seesaw thing is like,
Yeah.
because they didn't give you any details about the board or placement of it or anything until now, and it's like,
As a seesaw.
Well, I had the wrong mental image in my... For some reason, I thought there was no more cross pieces underneath the board. I don't know why I thought that, but I just didn't think of other cross
that's why
pieces.
you kept confusing me. I was like,
Yeah.
what do you mean?
But okay, I see now.
A seesaw?
The only other problem I have is
Back in the bullets, baby. Let's
no,
go.
No, not even going to the truth bullets.
Oh, okay.
Tenko weighs, because you'd have to lift her weight, 115 pounds.
Easy.
The culprit would have to be heavier than her. So I don't think it could be Himiko.
Oh, look at Tenko, or look at...
Well, this guy's obviously...
Yeah,
this guy's Mr. Fatso. He's like the tallest one
And
here.
he's 6'2", which height does make a difference when there's like force and stuff.
And even Kokichi doesn't weigh more. How much do we weigh?
Isn't Kokichi like 91 pounds?
97.
97.
And I mean, we could have, but we didn't, you know?
You're right.
So if it's a seesaw effect, and we just proved that it was, it has to be Kyo that killed Tenko, right?
Yeah. I don't see any other...
He seemed like kind of the obvious one right away, but it's like...
Okay, well...
For once, is the obvious one actually just the one who did it?
We'll see. There could be... But again, this is for Tenko.
Yeah, we're trying to prove Angie. Why would he kill Tenko? He wasn't even in the student council, so I don't know if it's a revenge thing for Angie.
Maybe he didn't want the seance to work.
Why not?
Because then it would prove... You'd be like, Angie, who killed you? You did! Or something like that, you know?
So you think he killed Angie too?
I mean, it would make sense.
It's a possibility, yeah.
For killing Tenko.
Oh my, I'm sorry this trial has been so like...
What? No, this is good. I've enjoyed this. Who cares?
I've enjoyed this too, but like, all of our theories about the board,
They were wrong, but it was fun.
The crosspiece at one end of the floorboard had been cut off.
So dumb.
The other two crosspieces holding up that board were close to the cage. Meaning, if you were to apply force to the end of the floorboard with no crosspiece, the next crosspiece would act as a fulcrum to turn the floorboard into
Also,
a lever.
Do you have to be heavier to raise something like that?
Kind of depends where the...
Like, I feel like if you
where
put
the
it-
middle point is positioned. But since it's directly in the middle, right there, yeah.
Like, you're confident on that?
Yeah.
Okay, he knows math, I don't, so we're trusting him.
Well, like, if you were lighter than... Because don't you agree that middle point right there, acting as the axle, is like pretty dang close to the middle of the board?
But I would think if you have enough force...
I guess if you used force and like jumped on it with all your weight, maybe, but...
But I guess if you are just trying to step on it, so because you have to jump on it, and then also lift the cage and whatever. So if you don't weigh more, it would balance back very quickly.
Yeah, because remember, you have to stab her in that movement. You have to lift up the sheet, stab her.
Well, if you're heavier, once you've jumped on it, it's okay. Because you're going to hold her up.
Right. But
but
if you're just jumping on it, you have to do like 3 different actions at once. You'd hear 2 noises, essentially.
Right.
A lever capable of lifting up Tenko's entire body.
Her whole body lifted up?
Yeah, that sounds like a seesaw, all right. But why bother lifting Tenko's body?
So you can stab her.
They couldn't have killed Tenko like that, unless they used the sickle.
That's exactly it. Using the seesaw trick, it was possible to kill Tenko with a sickle.
Huh? How?
In order for the culprit to kill Tenko with a seesaw trick, the placement of the sickle is the most important factor.
Did they not just have it on them?
The floorboard seesaw, the cage, and the blood on the white fabric? What conclusions can I draw from this? There's only one place the sickle could have been that is consistent with the evidence. Underneath
the top of the cage, but they just lifted the fabric, right?
Well, we would have seen it. Could it be underneath?
What do you mean they would have seen it? Well, they threw it.
You have to pick. You have 3 seconds. You have 3 seconds.
That's it.
Okay.
Okay.
I was gonna say I was trying to sit here and like explain it, but
was at the top of the iron cage with the blade facing down. The reason we didn't see it was because of the fabric covering the cage.
So, Kyo, who placed the fabric, put that there last second? Is that what's being implied?
How does he dispose of the sickle then?
Also, the wooden statue kept the blade in place.
I like my theory more. Shuichi, go back.
Yeah.
It's true that the sickle's handle was thick, which made the statue wobble. But the statue's weight kept it from falling over. Once everything was in place, if you stepped hard enough on the seesaw, Tenko's body would have shot upward and hit the blade on the top of the cage.
Ow! Ugh. No!
She was bent over, meaning the sickle's blade would have connected with her neck.
So when did they get the chance to throw the sickle?
Was it just... Okay, well, here's the only problem I have with that. So, we lift the dog statue off. Do you not see the indentation underneath the white fabric of a sickle sitting right there? Like,
I wonder if, like, you'd actually would see it. If you were to go back.
If you were to, like, pay
not.
attention to see, like, a bump.
Yeah.
We would have noticed that.
Wasn't long enough to stab Tenko in her crouched position. But with the floorboard acting as a seesaw, it could compensate for the blade's length.
Bringing the victim to the sickle rather than bringing the sickle to the victim. That's definitely an unorthodox idea.
I applaud it. Good job.
For real.
It's crazy, but it would explain how Tenko got stabbed while she was in the cage.
So the sound we heard was the culprit stomping on the floorboard.
And it would make everything else rattle. The cage and the statue, like, it tracks.
If the dog statue was balancing on top of it, yeah.
That impact make floorboard come loose.
You're too tall. Crouch down, man.
Looks like we got ourselves a good old-fashioned seesaw homicide.
Homicide?
Homicide.
What the hell's a seesaw homicide? That's fucking crazy!
Whatever, lady.
Craziness is what really makes the killing game fun, you know?
Yeah, sure.
They can't get away with murder the normal way, so they gotta think outside the box.
Guys, we're 3 episodes into this trial and we're not even halfway done, so I'm sitting here like, what's going on?
That's how it's gotta go.
Culprit.
Again.
You did a great job keeping me entertained.
Again, what does this really matter? I mean, maybe it'll connect some clues, but...
Indeed. Well played, Himiko.
Yeah?
Are you gonna pin it on her now?
Yeah.
Nah, she ain't heavier.
It was you, wasn't it? The one behind the seesaw homicide.
But we'll go into that.
I was just about to say, in the next episode.
Oh my god! I bet you guys love getting cliffhangered.
I mean, just wait a week. Then you won't.
True.
So,
or, I mean, I know some people just literally wait till our series is over and just binge watch the whole thing. And it's like, hey, if you're one of those people right now,
hello.
Hi. Shout out to you guys. I love you.
And shout out to me for recording it.
If you're the type of person that watches this video 5 minutes after it comes out, what's up?
No, we don't like you.
Yeah, you need to wait at least a day.
Yeah, that's
otherwise you're just kind of creepy and desperate.
Like stalker type stuff, you know? It's just nasty.
Weird.
You're just weird and
anyway,
gross.
yeah, I am sorry about the really obnoxious floorboard theories that we went on way too long about. And
I'm not sorry. That's part of the game.
Honestly,
even if it takes too long, like isn't that fun as like the viewer
hearing
being
you
like
explain it hurt my head so much. I was like, what?
Well, to be fair, my theory would have still worked. Like the way I explained
honestly,
it,
my brain does not see it at all. My brain could not see it, and that's why it kind of made me like.
All I'm saying is, you put weight on the floorboard.
Okay.
Now, I didn't really think about lifting Tenko's body up, so maybe that shuts it down. And then once the floorboard's lifted, you have access underneath the floor because there's a gap there, right? Or push down, whatever.
The board's still like very much in the way though to like reach up from underneath, you know? You'd have to have like an arm with 3 joints.
True, but the way the board was after Tenko died, it's like curved off to the side, then you can see beneath the floor. Like, I thought they just messed with it somehow, got it like that, and then shanked.
I don't know.
But you see what I mean, right? You can at least understand. Because the way the floorboard is when she dies is tilted to the side where you would very easily be able to lift under and stab.
Are you saying going under the cage? Like you lift just under the cage, put your hand up there, or what?
Look at the picture.
Yeah, I can't pull up the picture right now.
Okay. When Tenko's... just listen.
I'm listening.
When Tenko's body was found...
Yeah.
You could see the floorboard was displaced.
Yeah.
Like it was moved a little to the right.
Yeah.
And you could see beneath.
Uh-huh.
To the underground of the whatever.
Yeah.
So if somehow they did that during this, they press on it, they move it, I don't care. Somehow they displaced the floorboard like that, which they did by stomping on it.
Mm-hmm.
Then Tenko's whole thing, all that's done. The floorboard's moved. So once you have that hole in the floor like that, you can reach under, stab her, and then reach back and throw the thing.
You know what I think really ticked me off about... No, not ticked me off isn't like what I mean.
Okay.
What ticked me as that wouldn't work, it wasn't specific enough. Danganronpa, the killing always happens from the most, like, ridiculous way possible.
Well, the thing that, since we're using such vulgar language,
I didn't even mean to say that. I meant to
made
say
me
ticked me as well.
furious is that I felt like you kept being like, no, that's not right.
Well, 'cause
I'm just
honestly,
like, you're allowed to.
I still can't see it. Even after you explain it again,
What is there not to see here?
It wouldn't make sense.
You just reach under, especially this guy's 6'1". You know how lanky your arms are when you're 6'1"? You can just put your hand in the hole on the floor, reach through to the other hole, and then stab.
While all your weight is on this board.
You don't need to put your weight on the board. You've already put your weight on the board and it's displaced. You saw that when Tenko was dead. Like, why are you looking? It's so obvious. You mess with the board. Tenko's body is moved.
Even if I see it now,
no.
I'm just gonna pretend I can't.
But see, it makes sense. Her body's moved. Oh no, what happened? I'm over here.
I really just need you to draw this for me.
You can look at the picture. All you do is stomp on it. You see the board moves to the right or left or whatever. Like, it's moved to where...
Honestly, it still doesn't make sense, though, why it's moved to the right or left.
Yeah, I don't understand that part either. But with the logic I was working at the time, it kind of made sense. So...
You can't use kinda in your own theories.
Everything is kinda. Everything is kinda in this
I
theory.
didn't even mean to go into this. I'm sorry.
Well... It does make sense. It does. Like, I don't understand how you're so... If it was someone shorter, yeah, they probably couldn't reach underneath...
See, I'm working with short guy logic here. That wouldn't work for me.
Well, you're like 4'7", so you don't really get a say in this part. You would try and stomp on the floorboard and fly the other way, so it wouldn't work for you. But
wow, you're making this personal.
Well, you made it personal. When
I didn't make it. What did I do?
I took it personally.
I said ticked off as an accident. I meant to say what like ticked me as.
No, I understand. But like I understand I'm wrong, and that's fine. Whatever. But my theory does make sense.
I will say
the floorboards moved anyways. So it's like, it makes sense you could just reach under.
I will say I was praying your theory wasn't right just because I couldn't wrap my head around it at all. I was like, what? No?
See, I understand. Okay, maybe you couldn't wrap your head around it then, but now, like, when you had incomplete knowledge of how the floorboards worked, I could be like, yeah, okay, I understand how you can't quite grasp it. Whatever, right? A lot of the stuff in this game is like that. But now...
I suppose I had my own incomplete thoughts about how the floorboard worked. That's why I was annoyed when they didn't really tell you much about the placement of the board, because all I wanted to know is if it went out past the other end of the cage or not. It doesn't tell you that. And if it told me that, like, during investigating, I would have been way along these lines of thought, like, twice as fast, I think.
But, anyways, this is going on an hour.
This is stupid.
I
don't know whether I like this trial. We're not even halfway through, so I don't even know if I want to say I like this trial yet or not.
I'm loving it so far. This is the most like heated and like, I'm right I've been during a trial. And I wasn't even right, so.
I'm right, I swear. No, I'm not.
But yeah, so it's like, I'm having fun.
Yeah, as long as the fun's the fun part. I'm having fun too, but my brain is still in the bigger picture side of thing. I do think now Korikyo's probably just the most likely guy for...
I literally don't... No one else is capable.
I don't see what other evidence would prove that he's not. And now the fact that he's trying to, like, make Himiko look suspicious is like, okay, yeah, nice try.
Anyways, you guys can witness more of our blabbering excitement in the next episode, so goodbye.
Yeah, bye.
I'm cutting you off.